All right, so now we're up to part 3. We're going to be doing the valve body. So I'm going to tear it all down, flat sand both halves, clean everything up. We'll go over the checkball locations, the filter locations, and there's like a little valve in there, spring and valve in there. We'll be looking at that, location of that, and then of course putting it all back together. We'll torque everything down, new conductor plate, new O-rings on the solenoids, and then we'll torque down these solenoid retainers as well. All right, so I'm going to get a little closer and we'll get started tearing the valve body apart. Okay, all right, so first let's get that D-Tech roller off here. Okay. All right, now we'll get the solenoids out. Okay, these are the pressure solenoids, the shift pressure and the modulating pressure. Boy, these things, they normally come right out. Boy. All right, there's also a couple of screens down in there we don't want to forget about. Shift solenoids, 1, 2, and 4, 5, and 3, 4. Okay, these are both the same. All right, 2, 3 shift solenoid, lockup solenoid. And the 2, 3 shift solenoid is the same as the other two that I just took out. Lockup solenoid. All right, now we're gonna put this piece up here for the conductor plate, and there's another one in the front here, and that'll come right out. And that'll be replaced. Going to take the manual valve out, just kind of move it out of the way and pull it straight out. All right, the two screens in here we can get out when we take the valve body apart, or let's see if we can get them now. Okay, we'll get those after. No problem. All right, let's get all the bolts out. So there's no check balls or anything in this section of the valve body. So we're going to get all the bolts out, and we can just pretty much lift that section up. Okay, we're going to flat sand clean up, and let's get those two screens out. I'm just going to kind of push them out. Okay, there's one. They're both the same. That's what they look like. And the other one, okay. So I'll just turn this over and out, put some oil drain. Okay, I'm going to take this pin out. Okay, the separator plate. Alright, so I'm going to get all the check balls out, and then once we put it back together, we'll go over the location of the check balls and the filters. So we got 8 in this valve body, as in every 722.6 or Nag1 valve body, 8 steel check balls. We have 4 plastic, 2 filters, and like a little valve here. Alright, so let me just start getting these check balls out of place. These are the plastic ones. And then we'll go over location of each filter. Number 1, filter number 2. Okay, we're going to get this little valve out here. Okay. Little plastic valve there. And the check balls, the steel ones, are pretty much down in there. Used to seal the circuit, so I put a magnet on my scribe and I get those out. Okay. All right, I have the stone here. Okay, put that drain out. Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is get over to the wash tank, and we'll clean everything up, and then I'll let it dry. I'll blow it off camera, and then we'll make sure everything is free and go over check ball locations, put everything back together. I'll get the I'm gonna, after we wash up the valve body together and I clean it, I'm gonna do the solenoids so we can get new O-rings on those as well. All right, so let me just let this drain, get rid of the oil, and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, let's get these valve body halves cleaned up. Okay. Get the separator plate here. Now we get the main section. Okay. Let that drip off, and then we have last section of the valve body here. Okay, then what we can do, we get all the crap out of there. I got my can here. And in between the channels, that might be a little tough to get with the brush. Okay, give that a rinse. Get the other one. That looks pretty good. This one's not bad. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let these drip for a few minutes. I'm going to blow everything off. I'm going to meet you guys back at the bench. All right, everything's cleaned up. So let's make sure these valves are free. Good. Okay, very nice. This is good. Now, just one thing when you're working with this section of the valve body, just a quick tip. If you're gonna blow this, wash it up and blow it off like with compressed air, you've got a retainer right here that can fall out very easily. All right, just you're blowing this off with air pressure, it can fall out, no problem. So when I blow these off, I kind of hold it here like this, and then I blow it off with the air. All right, so just be careful of this. Nothing else can really come out because it's behind the plate, but just be careful of this one here because that can fall out. All right, so I'll make sure everything's free. Then we'll go ahead and I'll see if I can maybe switch angles, get right on top of the valve body, and do the check balls. All right, let me just switch, get closer here. Okay. That looks good. Okay, very nice. Everything is nice and free. Okay. All right, so that's good. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now, let me switch angles. I want to get on top of the valve body, and we'll put each piece in place. All right, so let me just switch angles. Give me 1 second. Okay, first set of steel check balls, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's put those in. And again, 722/6 or Nag1, everything is the same. Okay, now we got 4 more steel check balls. They're gonna go here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we have 4 of the, I guess you could say like the hard plastic or maybe the Torlon check balls. Okay, 4 of those. Those locations, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we'll put those in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now we have this filter here. I'm sorry, it's a valve, a little a valve for the valve body. Okay, so this larger section is going to face down, and the little hat here is going to face up. Okay, so we're going to put it in just like that, and that's going to go right here in this location. So we'll just drop that in. Okay, and now we have 2 filters. Okay, they are both the same. They have little on the bottom like a little plastic a ledge that to keep the filter sitting up. Okay, and that is one is going to go here, and it's just right even with it, so that's good. And then the other filter there. All right, and the other 2 screens we'll put in for the pressure solenoids after the valve body's together. All right, so once again, check balls, steel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Torlon or plastic balls, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 filters and a little check valve here. All right, and again, all the same. 722/6 or Nag1. All right, let me just switch angles and then we'll go ahead and put this valve body back together. Okay, so we're ready with this. Everything is in place. Go ahead and put our separator plate on top. Okay. Line her up. All right, so what I like to do is put this in. That, you know, kind of make sure everything is lined up, and that goes by the D10 roller. So I just kind of push it all the way down like that. And then we can put all our bolts in. Then we'll just kind of run these down and then torque them down. Okay, these will get done to about, I do them about 80 inch-pounds. Okay. Let's run these down. lot of bolts here. Okay, so we can go ahead and torque these down now. And I usually start, I leave the outer ones down here for last. So I usually start maybe here, go down, over, and then go all the way down, and then come around and finish them up. Okay, so I have this set. Here. Alright, now go all the way down to the bottom, and then we get all the outside ones. That's it. So I know they're all tight. Okay. All right, so now we got these two screens here. And again, they're both the same for the pressure solenoids. Okay, so we're gonna put these in. This one in. All right. We can go ahead and put our manual valve back in. And now we need our new conductor plate. And this is a Hudson product, which basically is OE. There's the part number. You can get these from TransStar. Okay. All right, so this we're gonna put in place. All right, and we're just gonna give it a little push here to snap it in. Okay, give it a little push up here to snap it in, and that's in. And then I just kind of push down where these retainer bolts go, just to make sure. Okay, so that looks good. All right. You know what you can actually do? You can put a little grease around it here. Okay. Now we have our shift solenoids, and again they're the same, so it doesn't really matter where they go. You know, here and here. That is. Okay. And these solenoids, you know, on these Mercedes rarely go bad. I rarely have to change them. Even when these transmissions are are in pretty bad shape, you know, busted up wise. They're still good. I think the only time I may have changed a set of solenoids is when a transmission came through that was full of water. I didn't really want to use them back. Okay. Now we're going to do the lockup. Make sure you can see here. Lockup solenoid and the other shift solenoid. Got my trans gel. Okay. Okay. Then we have our retainer here. Okay. Okay. And this we'll put on during final assembly. So that is it for part 3. The valve body is complete. New conductor plate, new O-rings on the solenoids, everything was nice and free. So we're going to next part, of course, is final assembly on the 722.6. So we will get to that, and I'll see you guys for part 4.